All right. Well, happy Monday night, everyone. My name is Michala Petersen, and thank you so much for joining us on our Take Healthy Back call. It's this time of year where everyone is thinking of getting healthy. And I know as a mama who is very out of shape after having 4 kiddos, that was a really daunting feat. But we are here to talk to you about simple solutions to taking your health back. And that all starts with 4 really easy products. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about that. But first, I'm going to tell you some gloom and doom statistics about our nation. But there will be hope at the end, I promise. So 750,000 people die every year of heart disease. 600,000 people die every year of cancer. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will have cancer in their lifetime. And our children are the first generation to not outlive their parents. So that is pretty scary, especially with 1 in 3 people in the United States having pre-diabetes. And those statistics are getting worse and worse and worse every year. So we're here to talk to you about one simple change that you can make. It takes 3 weeks to develop a habit. And so we focus on one simple change a month. And a great catalyst to change a lot of things is this bridge builder that we call Juice Plus. And so Juice Plus is just 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule or a soft chew for kids. And it really bridges the gap between how many servings of fruits and vegetables we should eat every day, which is 7 to 13, and how many we actually do in America, which is 2. And so this is an easy way to guarantee, I know as a mom, at the end of the day, I go to bed at night knowing that my kids got nutritionally what they needed to hopefully prevent disease. And so that's what we're really here to talk about. And we have also Juice Plus Complete, which bridges the gap between how many meals we should eat a day, which is 6, and how many we actually do eat, which is 2. And so that is macronutrition. That's like the gasoline that you put in the car, versus Juice Plus is the micronutrition. And we know that you can drive a car on little or no oil for a while, but eventually it begins to break down. And so the shakes are delicious, number one, but they're great for everyone. Kids, diabetics, cancer patients. They were studied at MD Anderson in cancer patients. It's totally plant-based. It has ancient grains, which are great for you. And it's so versatile. You can make protein pancakes. You can make protein balls. They taste like a delicious no-bake cookie. I have made 6 dozen of those in the last 2 days to give to teachers because that's what they expect from us. And then we also have a complete protein bar, which is very similar but in a bar form. And then the 4th product and the final product we have as of right now is called the Tower Garden. And this is really how I got interested in Juice Plus. This is a completely aeroponic growing system. There's no weeds, no snakes. In our case, where we live in the middle of nowhere, we have big 4.5-foot bull snakes. And so that's really a blessing. And it just waters itself. It's on a timer, and it's just absolutely amazing. And so this is how my Juice Plus journey began. I was searching for an alternative to traditional gardening because I loved to garden, but it was way too much work with 4 little kids. And my uncle told me about this. And within one conversation with my pharmacist friend who posted a picture of hers on Facebook, I went from never having heard of Juice Plus to being a rep for the company. To me, it was just a no-brainer, $50 a year for no minimums, no quotas, and no inventories. And I really wanted this pumping through my kids, especially. And so I didn't want to share it with a soul. And within 6 weeks, 4 weeks really, we were having incredible results. My energy was through the roof. Our 2-year-old that gagged at anything green was asking for salads and eating seconds. Our 8-month-old needed tubes in her ears, and I canceled that consult. And as a family of 6, we have had 0 sick visits to the doctor since we started Juice Plus, which is incredible. 0 antibiotics, which is amazing. And so our 4-year-old also struggled with focus. And within a few weeks, she was crawling up on her laps and asking us to read her books. And that was when I really knew that I needed to research Juice Plus. And I was blown away by that. The first thing that I did was I messaged a mom of a kiddo with cancer, and she said, "How long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me sooner?" And that's when it all changed for me, because I took an oath to do no harm as a pharmacist. And by not sharing this I was doing harm. So I am so excited to be on the call with two other amazing women that are going to share their stories. And both of these gals are just so near and dear to my heart. So the first is Miss Tiff Minnick. And Tiff just is taking on this new adventure in life. She just purchased a boutique where they're renovating furniture. And anyway, she's just a wealth of knowledge as far as the health realm goes. And so, Tiff, will you bless us with your story tonight?
Sure, yeah. So like Michala said, I just opened a new business, which is a totally just off the wall kind of decision. I left the field that I was in, working in sales and agronomy for the last 12 years, and just needed something new. And earlier this spring, I guess, is when the first time that I've noticed I didn't need an inhaler out walking fields. I've always had to have an inhaler in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. I always had to have allergy medicine, and that's been going on for over 10 years now. I guess maybe I should back up. And here again, I was walking through the county fair and saw Michala with Tower Garden, which struck my interest. I always have a big garden every year, and then in the wintertime I would drag these pots. I would start tomatoes and I'd drag them in these 5-gallon buckets, and I would bring in my kale and I would bring in my spinach in all these pots. And so that struck my interest right away, seeing the Tower Garden. Then just ended up going to an event after I connected with Michala, and really found it interesting, all the information about Juice Plus, and it started out as a girls' night out. A friend of mine and I went. We needed something to do, so Plus event. Walked away wanting to get started on it. I started on just the reds and the greens, and immediately, about 2 weeks into it, my PMS symptoms, which have been terrible. My mom, my sister, and I, we've always had terrible, terrible PMS symptoms. That whole week before and the week of, my boobs would just explode. My back would hurt. I was tired all the time. And I noticed that right away. Like, I think I messaged Michala, like, holy cow, there should be no reason that I'm not having my period, but it's not letting me know that it's coming. So that was one of the first things I noticed. And then I guess just different things. I mean, we've always ate healthy. Well, I thought we did. As a single mom of my daughter's 7, she's almost 8, and I've always gardened. I've been gluten-free for 6 years now. And after taking a food allergy test, I started paying a lot more attention to what I was eating and how my body reacted. I made everything that I could out of my garden, and paid a lot more attention to what was going in my daughter and I's bodies, but then started noticing both of us crave more things. We always ate apples, we always ate bananas, we would eat spinach for a while, but fruits and vegetables was not something we ate a lot of. And looking now, as a kid, I remember, eat your meat, finish your meat, and then, the vegetables you just kind of toss aside, and fruit was almost like a reward. Fruit was like ice cream. If you ate your meat and potatoes, you got to have fruit. But we both started craving a lot more different types of fruits and vegetables. My daughter would not touch an orange. She was eating oranges. She was eating spinach. She was eating spinach plain, straight from the bag. Her dad came to pick her up one time, and she wanted to get a snack quick to go. So I told her, yeah, go grab a snack bag. And I had animal crackers or something. I didn't know what she was going to get. And she came out with a Ziploc bag, and she had just plain spinach in it. And we were both like, really? But that's what she wanted. So we crave a lot healthier things now that our bodies just didn't used to. A few other things, I guess, that we've noticed, and like I said, we've both been on it a little over a year. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia from 3 different doctors in my early 20s. And actually, earlier this spring, I just got done working with a rheumatologist with arthritis in Lincoln. So I've been fighting that. I have been on antidepressants for almost 8 years. I've been on, I can't tell you how many different kind of pain medications for the fibro. And I was just on so many different things. At one time, I was on 3 different pain meds, but they all made me sick to my stomach. I was just nauseous, but I couldn't function. I couldn't function physically without them, but mentally, I was a zombie. I was not myself. And I would try and stop taking them before, just because they made my stomach so sick. But there was one time where I literally, my body was on fire. I hurt so bad. I was cold. I could not put a lightweight blanket on top of myself to keep warm because it hurt so bad. And my 6-year-old daughter had to call my mom to drive 20 miles to take care of both of us because I hurt so bad. I couldn't function. I couldn't do anything. And yet I was plugging so much into my body. I was on a weight loss pill for energy. I didn't need to be on a weight loss pill for weight loss, but that's what I had to take for energy. I was on uppers and downers and pain meds. And finally, I started taking the trio, and about 3 months into it, I just said, enough is enough. And I quit taking the pills. I mean, I just quit. I threw them away. I just quit taking them. It's just, I couldn't plug that much more crap into my body and not feel like myself again. So I have not had a fibro flare-up since. And I've been really nervous because when cold weather comes and it starts getting dark early, and I can tell when I stress myself out and I overdo it that something's going to happen. And I'll still get a little, pain come on. But I know it's going to happen, and I just double up on a dose. I take a shake, and I can tell I have been conquering this world like no other.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So I haven't felt this good in 7 or 8 years. So I am a true believer. So
holy cow. I would say if you were going to have a flare up, that the last probably month and a half would have bedridden you, as much stress and stuff like that. But Tiff is just such an inspiration. She had a vision for this store, and she's going to get Tower Garden out there. And she is just the definition of a dream conqueror, I think. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
This next friend of mine, I guess, is you're so much more than a friend, Chelsey, and I haven't even known you very long. Are you there, Chelsey? Can you hear me, Chelsey?
You cut out on me, Michala. I didn't hear you.
Okay, good. We couldn't see you. Perfect. Okay, so Mark is actually the one that noticed Chelsey a long time ago at Awana. She's very pregnant with her 3rd child, and just such a trooper. And Mark said she would be great as a rep. And anyway, God worked it out recently, and I sent Chelsey a happy birthday individual message on Messenger, and she and I started talking, and now I told her yesterday I'm going into withdrawals. I hadn't heard her voice in a few days. So anyway, Chelsey is just, I have learned so much from Chelsey in the last month. She has taught me how to shop differently. She has an awesome story to tell, and I'll quit babbling and let you tell your story, Chelsey. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Michala. You're too sweet. And Tiffany, that was an amazing story. I can't wait to share that with some people that I know that are actually struggling with fibromyalgia. So that's awesome. So thank you for that. Well, my story doesn't seem quite as amazing as that, but anyways, I'll just kind of start with my background. My parents actually got divorced when I was 4, and I have 2 sisters, and my dad raised us 3 girls. And so we didn't really eat that healthy. I mean, he tried to do his best, but we had a lot of convenience food items. And so growing up from that, and then I went into college and got married, and we were pretty frugal, so we thought we ate healthy. we didn't eat a lot out of boxes, and we didn't go out to eat a lot, but still using a lot of canned foods and things like that. And then we had our first child, Micah, and he's 4.5 now. But when he was born, it was probably a couple weeks to a month after he was born, we noticed right away that he was just having issues. His stools were not right. He was fussy all the time. I was constantly having to bounce him. He was always gassy. And I had just started doing some research and was seeing a lot on MSPI at that time, milk soy protein intolerance. And so I started with that, and it didn't seem like it was getting much better. And so I decided to do a full-on elimination. Oh, are you guys still there?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I started doing a full-on elimination diet, and as soon as I started doing that, we noticed results right away. And so I had taken out pretty much everything other than fruits, vegetables, and meats, and was even limiting some of the trigger vegetables as well, like tomatoes and things like that. And he got way better. And every time I would try and add back in wheat, gluten, he would immediately, within hours, start getting upset and fussing and just kicking his legs, and he'd be up all night. I even remember one time when my mother-in-law and my father-in-law came over, and I didn't even mean to, but I accidentally thickened the soup with flour, not even thinking. And that night he had a flare-up, and I could not figure out why he was so upset. And then I remembered all of a sudden 2 days later, oh my goodness, I thickened the soup with flour. So anyways, that started my journey of beginning to understand what was in our food and what we were eating every day. And as he got older and started actually eating his own food and not just breastfeeding, then we started to notice more triggers for him, like corn. And when you take out corn out of your diet, you realize it's in everything. Corn syrup, corn starch. I mean, maltodextrin has corn in it. There's so many different names for corn, dextrose, citric acid. All of those can be corn-based. Now, some of those aren't always corn-based, but when we took that out, that's when we realized, oh my goodness, you can't eat pretty much anything from a box, anything from a can, anything from the store. And so that's when we started making everything from scratch and just going to the basics. And that was kind of when I started kind of becoming what a lot of people say is like a crunchy mama, and started focusing on just being healthy and whole foods and just chemicals even, making my own cleaners and all of that kind of stuff. And then for myself as well, I also had thyroid issues. And so once I removed the gluten and all of those things out of my diet, I felt so much better that I just continued to stay that way even after I was done breastfeeding. And when doing that, I noticed that my thyroid numbers would stay within normal range. And so I knew that eating healthy and getting all those good nutrients was helping with that, and avoiding the bad as well. Let me see here what else I had in my notes to tell you guys. So even though we were eating healthy, the boys still continue to have issues. And we had some testing done on them and found out, they couldn't have tomatoes. They couldn't have all of these healthy fruits and vegetables, which didn't make sense to me. But somebody said that we had gone to, okay, you need to remove all of this from their diet, because if you have this in their diet, they're just going to become more sensitive to it and have more problems with other foods. So we removed it from their diet for a year and had more testing done. And the testing was still the same. I was very discouraged by point. I was thinking, what are we going to do? Like, I can't keep all of these good, healthy fruits and vegetables out of their diet forever. They need this stuff. And so I talked to somebody else and was digging in and doing more research myself, and found out that they had a leaky gut. And it was really right about the beginning of this time that Michala contacted me and sent me a birthday message, and which was just amazing. just that, she took the time to even do that. I didn't know her very well, and she was just being kind and considerate and sent me that message, and that opened the door for me to talk to her and say, hey, what do you guys do, for healthy living? And so that's when she introduced me to Juice Plus and talked to me about how she knows a lot of people that have had allergy issues and inflammation and autoimmune things and have overcome those by using Juice Plus. So that's when I started my research. I'm kind of a research junkie. And so I began the research on Juice Plus. And I know Michala could have probably shot me at the time because I was sending messages every day saying, okay, send me some info on this. And what about this? And how about this? But it was amazing because she had research to back everything up. And she had testimonials as well from other people. And so that was amazing for me to have all that information. And so I was like, okay, you know what? We have to do this. And so my husband, he is lucky if he gets one fruit a day. And vegetables, yeah, that's another story. If I hide them in our food, and they're, meat, potatoes, those kind of things, like you said, Tiffany, but otherwise not much else. And so he was kind of like, I really do need some of this stuff too. And so we decided to get on board and start Juice Plus. And since we have started, I cannot believe the energy. We haven't even been on it for that long. I mean, 3 weeks, I want to say probably. And the energy is just amazing. I have a 5-month-old right now. And so I'm still up at nighttime and have 2 rambunctious boys that I'm chasing around. And when we went to Christmas a week and a half ago, Ryan and I were the only ones up. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. Everybody else was asleep. And here we are, the ones with kiddos. Nobody else had kiddos. And everyone else was asleep. And we're still up thinking, wow, we have a lot of energy. So that was the first thing that Ryan and I noticed right off the bat was energy, which especially with my thyroid is something that when Eliana was first born that I was really struggling with, feeling tired. And even after, a few months of her being born, I was just really tired and feeling that. So to me, I haven't got my blood work done again, but I'm really excited to go in and do that and to see what the results are on that. But I know that it's giving our body the nutrients we need. And one of the other big things for me is that I was doing all of these things for my kids and for myself to stay healthy. I was making my own elderberry syrup and doing real pure vitamin C powder from fruits, and just all of these different home natural things to stay healthy and to boost our immune systems. And it was overwhelming to me to try and get my kids to take all of these things every day and to remind myself to do it every day. And it was just stressful at the end of the day, thinking, am I doing enough for them? They're not getting all the food veggies they need and those kind of things. And now I don't have to worry about that. I know that we're all getting the nutrients that we need. And I am really hopeful that this is going to take care of their leaky gut issues and all of the allergy things as well. So I think that's all I had on my story.
That is awesome. You're going to have an amazing story. I mean, you already do it 3 weeks. And the best thing is you just get it. Like intellectually, it just makes sense to you and you know that it's never going to harm you. So thank you so much for sharing that. Well, one of the things that we like to do on this call, and we're just going to breeze through this really fast, is a lot of people have some questions about the company behind Juice Plus. So we're just going to tell you just a little snippet, like a couple sentences on the company behind Juice Plus. So first of all, I know I was really reluctant to share Juice Plus, and I think a lot of other people are too, for this one simple reason. So Tiff, will you address the elephant in the room a little bit on that issue?
Yeah, I didn't really want to share it because I was too busy. I was going to do it for myself and didn't want to share it. Didn't want to go try and sell it, quote unquote. And I just wasn't interested in it. But after I started seeing all the benefits, you can't help but not share it. And talking to one of my friends who's on it, she's like, oh, I'm not a salesman. I can't sell. That's not me. That's all, you're good at that. But that's not what it is to me. It's not selling it. It's sharing it. And when you hear stories like ours all the time, then how can you not reach out to somebody? And when you help one person, you want to help another, and then you want to help another. And that's where, to me, that's the greatest thing ever, is hearing those stories back from people that get started on it, and they're like, oh my gosh, my arthritis is better. I'm not sick. I've been around. She's like, everybody at work is sick. Everybody's at work is sick, and I'm not getting sick. I'm like, double up, keep taking your juice plus. Like, not good enough. You're gonna be okay. So, and then I might start saving towards this, or maybe I can start. You reap those financial rewards and start putting them towards something, and so that helps too when you can benefit it in that way, just by sharing. But
that's right. Chelsey, I know you may not have been like this, but I totally got lost in motherhood. And so the community has meant so much to me as far as the Juice Plus community goes, because they really do wrap their arms around you. So you have experienced just a snippet of that so far, but can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes. The community has just been amazing. And like I said, I've only been here for 3 weeks, but Michala is awesome. And she is just so energetic and so passionate about what she does. And if you have any questions, when I was first looking into Juice Plus, any question I had, she was on top of it and would send me information. And if she didn't know the answer, she was going to find the answer for me. And I just love that. Because I knew that she was committed. And then just every call that I've been on, everything that I've listened to has just been amazing. I mean, all the people are so passionate about what they do, and it's not just about a product. It is about the people, and that they care for the people and their health. And whether or not they buy Juice Plus, they want to teach them how to live healthy, how to make one simple change to be healthier. And that's what I love about the company, and I love about the people that form the company, is that it's more than just a product.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Okay, we are just going to touch just a little bit on what your $50 buys you. And this is one of my favorite things, because we all come in at the same place. So if you think of a traditional business, it really does look like this. There's one CEO at the top and all these people down below, and the chance that the janitor is going to get up here is pretty slim. But with us, you pay $50, and I can't do that. Michelle, you're better at that than I am. Do the visual. Anyway, yes, there you go. Anyway, so you pay your $50, and there's a ton of room at the top. So it really just depends how much you want to share, how much you want to work, how hard you want to work. And obviously you're going to reap what you sow. So, so that's a little bit about that. When I started, like I said, I didn't want to share it, but quickly I knew 4 months into Juice Plus, we had a daycare incident, and that I knew would make me want to stay at home. And so the difference is, I had heard what Juice Plus can do for you as far as a business. And so even though I didn't need it at the time, I was making a great salary as a pharmacist. I really wasn't scared to stay at home, because I knew the potential in this. So a short 17 months after we started with Juice Plus, I reached the top level of the company, which is National Marketing Director. And we needed those benefits. We really, really needed those benefits. So it includes medical, dental, vision, life insurance, disability, long-term care, prescription drug, family tuition reimbursement, which I don't know any company that is doing that, especially this day and age when tuition is, crazy. Our whole culture is just in flux right now. An expense allowance and a holiday bonus. And so we're going to share with you just a little snippet of how this works. And so you pay, can you see my cursor? No? I think Michelle, go back to that if you will, Michelle. Okay, so you come in and pay $50, and that says you right there on that house. And then everyone has 2 people that they know that they want to get healthier. I haven't talked to a single person that doesn't have 2 people right off the top of their head that they think of right away when they hear of Juice Plus. And so you share with 2 people and you get a couple $100. Now, I've had someone do this in 30 minutes. You can do it in 30 days. It doesn't matter. You know, share with 2 people. That's it. And then everything is more fun with a buddy. So if you have a buddy that you want to share with, you know, they sign up as a rep and they share with 2 people, then they get a couple $100. And most of us know somebody who wants to look better, feel better, or make a little money. And it is not hard at all to make an extra $500 to $750 a month just with your own customer base even. So that's so you both would be at the first commission level, which is DD. And then to get to the second commission level, you and your buddy just fill up those other 6 houses. So I haven't shown this to anyone that they couldn't immediately fill up those 6 houses in their mind with people that they want to share with. And so you do that and you make a $250 bonus plus retail sales profit, plus then you're at the second commission level, which is 14%. And you get a free conference ticket. And we didn't talk much about conference, and I know we're kind of going over here, but it's an amazing experience. We have been to every conference since we started, and 8,000 people at the last one, still have yet to have a bad experience. And it's like the family reunion that you didn't know you needed, but now you want more than twice a year. You know, it's awesome. And so the top stair step of this little diagram here is sales coordinator. And to get to sales coordinator, you help 3 people do what you just did with the house diagram. And you get a $750 bonus right now. And then you also are at the top commission level of the company, which is 22%. So rather than making $39 a box coming in, you make $76 a box of Juice Plus. So if you're like me, even though I didn't think I wanted to share this, in my head I was still like, well, I'm not going to leave money on the table. I'm at least going to get to sales coordinator. So within your first 6 months, you can make over $2,000 in just bonuses. And that's not retail sales profit or commissions, which is pretty dang good for getting to help people with their health. And so as a pharmacist, I always ask 3 questions. Is it safe in pregnancy? Is it safe in kids? And is it safe in cancer patients? And I never was answered with yes to all 3 of those questions. And so these are just a few of the things that stood out to me. The longevity, number 1. 23 years it's been on the market. It's tested 6 times from field to capsule. There's never been a single recall. We have what's called NSF certification, which means there's nothing on the label that's not in the capsule. There's nothing in the capsule that's not on the label. And third, and most important, that it does no harm. We're simple. There's only 4 products that we talked about before. I think I'm freezing. It says I'm unstable. Shocker. Anyway, we have a nutrition label rather than a supplement label. So it's just food. It's not even taxed in states that don't tax food. Authenticity. We are absolutely who we say we are. The research is all laid out for you can read every single study. Juice Plus has been studied in all 3 of those populations, which is incredible. And then number 5, we are one team, one mission. There are several people on this call that are our sideline buddies. Like they aren't even in our team, some of them. But that's what's so cool is that we all just work together to uplift and empower each other. So thank you all so much for joining us. We are on a mission to absolutely rage against the norm. Those statistics that you saw at the beginning, they don't have to be normal. And so we are launching a healthy living revolution starting January 2nd. It's going to be awesome. There is a huge group that's doing this, and the community is amazing. Tons of support. And the awesome thing is we're doing a 10-day shred, which is shredding toxins, shredding bad habits. But there's a maintenance program afterwards. So it's not like we just do it for 10 days and then hang you out to dry. You know, it's a lifestyle. It's a healthy living revolution. So if you want to join us in that, or if anything on this call convicted you, we cannot wait to partner with you guys to take healthy back. So thanks, girls. You did an awesome job.